When a quiet janitor bought a rundown military house on the edge of town, everyone thought he was wasting his savings. But when three women in uniform knocked on his door one cold evening, the truth about who he really was and what he had done for them changed every heart in that small town forever. The old military base had been abandoned for years. The grass grew knee-high, the paint peeled like dry skin, and the wind whistled through broken windows. Locals called it the ghost block. No one wanted it except Ethan Cole, a 38-year-old janitor, widowed, and raising his 9-year-old daughter, Lily. Ethan worked nights at the local high school, mopping floors and fixing flickering lights. His back ached, his hands were calloused, and he rarely spoke more than a few words. But behind those tired eyes was a man who once wore a uniform, a man who once led others through chaos and fire. No one knew that story. One day, he saw a government auction ad: old army housing for sale. The houses were cheap, barely standing. But one of them was the same home his late wife, Sergeant Maria Cole, had lived in before deployment. It was where she had written her last letter to him before she died overseas. Ethan's heart clenched. He knew he had to have it. He sold his old car, used his savings, and bought the abandoned house. When he and Lily arrived, the floorboards creaked, the roof leaked, and the air smelled like dust and memories. But Lily spun around in the middle of the empty living room and said softly, "Daddy, can we make it our home again?" He smiled, hiding tears behind that tough fatherly grin. "Yeah, kiddo. We'll fix it up. Just like Mom would have wanted." Days turned into weeks. Every evening after his janitor shift, Ethan hammered, painted, and repaired. Lily helped paint the walls pastel blue, her mom's favorite color. They planted flowers outside, and little by little, the ghostly place began to breathe again. The townsfolk started to notice. They'd see Ethan walking Lily to school with paint on his hands and dirt on his boots. People whispered, "He's wasting his money on that broken house." But Ethan didn't care. For him, this was more than a home, it was healing. One night, while fixing the front porch light, Ethan noticed something strange: a mark scratched under the window frame, Unit 24, never forgotten. He ran his hand across it. It was a mark from the unit his wife had served in. His throat tightened. He whispered to himself, "Maria, what did you leave behind here?" And then, the knocking came. 3 sharp knocks at the door. When he opened it, 3 women stood outside, in military uniforms. The woman in front removed her cap, her eyes fierce yet filled with warmth. "Sir, are you Ethan Cole?" He nodded, confused. "Yes, can I help you?" The woman took a breath. "My name is Captain Ava Reynolds. We served with your wife." Ethan froze. It had been almost 10 years since Maria's name had been spoken by anyone who truly known her. Lily, holding her father's leg, looked up, her big eyes curious. Ava continued softly, "We were part of Maria's last mission. Before she didn't come home." Ethan's knees weakened, and he gestured them inside. The women looked around the half-repaired home with quiet emotion. One of them, Sergeant Kim, touched the wall and whispered, "She used to sit right there writing letters." Ethan swallowed hard. "I found her handwriting under the window. The old unit mark." They exchanged glances. The third woman, Private Morales, opened her duffel bag and pulled out a small, weathered metal box. "She told us if anything ever happened to her, we were to bring this to you, if we ever found you again." Ethan's hands trembled as he opened the box. Inside was a folded letter and a medal, the Silver Star. Maria's medal. Tears filled his eyes as he read her final words. "If you're reading this, it means I didn't make it home. But Ethan, promise me one thing: don't let Lily grow up in sadness. Build her a home filled with laughter. And if you ever find this house again, remember, it's where love never left." For the first time in years, Ethan broke down. The women sat quietly, their own tears falling for the friend they'd lost and the family she left behind. Then Ava said something unexpected. "Ethan, we didn't just come to give you that. We came to help you finish what she started." The next morning, the quiet street came alive. The 3 women returned, not in uniform, but in jeans and work gloves. They brought tools, paint, wood, and supplies. Together, they rebuilt the porch, repaired the fence, and helped Ethan finish the home Maria had dreamed of. Neighbors stopped to watch. Soon, others joined in: an old carpenter, a few students from Ethan's school, even the mayor. By the weekend, the entire block looked transformed. That night, as the sun dipped low, Lily stood on the porch holding her mother's medal and whispered, "Daddy, look, the house is smiling again." Ethan smiled through his tears. "Yeah, baby, it finally is." The women stood beside him, their eyes glistening. Ava looked at him and said, "Maria would be proud of you, Ethan. You gave her daughter what she always wanted, a home full of love, not memories." The camera could linger on the final moment, the golden sunset reflecting on the newly painted house, the laughter of Lily echoing, and the women saluting before they left down the road. And as the screen fades, Ethan's voice narrates softly. "Sometimes, the people we lose don't leave us, they send others to finish the story they began."